but that'll be happening here. Now, I've got some inside information here. Word on the street is that artillery is a really broken hero, and I'm not going to elaborate on that. We might have to just wait and see for ourselves if that has any sort of implications. But we do have the game underway, so we're kind of going to get started. Looking at the bans, Zlapt is going to take out Behemoth Magnus, and Emberboy is going to take out Tremble Midas. Zlapt really not wanting to go against any of those powerhouse initiators, the ones that really, make those massive plays in turn your head. That being said, you can only ban 2 heroes, so there is still plenty of other great heroes in the pool to pick from. But with this being said, let's take a look at what actually just happened. They gave first pick to Zlapt. I'm not sure if this is referring to the Wild Soul, but they did first pick the Wild Soul. Now, Imberboy, once again, he's going to first pick Lodestone. We seen them do this last game, and it turned out to be the best decision that Imberboy made. The Lodestone was the most valuable player, in my opinion. He just really blew my mind. So, I'm excited to see it again. Again, it was still there's a little doubt in me that it was, the most valuable pick with so many other heroes on the table. But he felt that it was important. He grabbed it up. Let's see if they can repeat what we saw in the last match. Now, that being said, they're taking their sweet time here and really thinking it through. You're up against Sync Esports, number 2 seed in the Diamond Division right now. So, it makes sense that they're going to be careful in what selections they make here. But Zlapt went ahead and drafted a Luna. We saw the panty throws last game and how much of an impact that he had, and maybe even just taking it out of the hands of the Hellborn team. Sometimes that's a valid strategy. You may not be the best of Luna, though I'm not going to doubt Serenia's skill. He's an incredible player, but sometimes that's just another half of it. Not only are you going to play the hero, but you take it out of the hands of somebody who's incredible with it, and that could be part of the strategy here. Kind of lingering on that, we rotated into Dr. Repulsor. So, Sync already kind of picked their heavy hitters, and they put it out. So, it's no secret anymore. They're running a Wild Soul. They're running a Dr. Repulsor. They're comfortable taking this into the later stages of the game. So, it's very fitting that Imberboy also picked up Warbeast and Puppet Master. If all goes to planned, we could see there's potential for a pretty long game here. Both teams have a hard carry. Both teams have heroes that require a lot of farm to reach their full potential. But pushing potential is there too. So, maybe they snowball and it comes out of hand. But it is going to boil down to execution. So we're going to kind of roll into the second banning phase here. Zlapt takes out Tundra and then Meraxis. So once again, initiators. Zlapt is trying to pick them all out and leave him with just the leftover scraps. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but let's take a look. You still have Prisoner, you still have Flux, Cthulhuphant, Kraken, and Pestilence are really the only go-to initiators left on the table that I think really fit the role the best. Cthulhuphant is kind of hit or miss. He's not the best initiator. He's a great utility early on, and he's very versatile in that he can, semi-jungle, suicide, and he's tanky. But I can't compare him to a Behemoth, Flux Magnus, and there goes Zlapt. Just continues now. He takes out the Prisoner. You prevent the team from having an initiation, and then you build your team around some good team fighting, then you have the upper hand completely. Now they take Pebbles, so it's another hero that's pulled off the list. And I feel like I'm dwelling on this quite a bit, but it's important to note, even Tundra is an initiator who's pulled off the table. His ultimate is pretty good at doing that. So we'll have to see what Imberboy picks up here from what's left. There's some tankier heroes like Sulfuras and Balfagor, but they lack that lockdown, that instant burst in. And even though they have a Warbeast, I'm not completely looking out that maybe a Tempest could be a good pickup here. They don't have a ton. You wouldn't be able to jungle with the War Beast anymore, but we've seen him in other lanes. Um, and I think they need something like a huge lockdown like that. So we'll have to see what they pick. And talking about bans, Imboboy banned out Swiftblade, Pharaoh, and Drunken Master. So Pharaoh, another initiator. I guess there's really a lot of initiators when you think about it. But, I mean, a big chunk of them have been barred from play here today. So let's go ahead and see. They're going to grab Pyromancer, which is the support that they picked for Game 1. And they laned him up with Pebbles, but Pebbles is already taken. Magmus is already gone. So the typical dual lane combos that we would see them in, not going to be an option here. And also, with the lineup they picked, I don't think that that's what we're going to see. But either way, he's still one of those heroes. He's a support hero that offers a lot of damage to the table. And, hey, he has a place in competitive Han for sure. So, that's that being said, I mean, as an overall, the both of the teams, they don't really have a standout lineup to me. Like, their game plan is kind of still masked at this point as to how they're going to lane it and how they're going to play it. I will say that the only thing that's obvious is there is the potential for this game to go on for some time. And we saw a very, very well played engineer earlier today by BMG, and just the fact that his keg stuns were amazing, his turrets were perfect, his ultimates were huge. All of engineer's spells really come down to, unless you're following up one of the many other stuns on the team, they are skill shots. And, sometimes it's hit or miss. If that keg gets sidestepped, which it easily can by a player who sees it coming, you can turn a gank into a fail gank and really just get wrecked. But there they go. Imboboy picking up the Lord Soul Force at the last second. They're ready to take down this Wild Soul. You all know that his ultimate puts a real limitation on Wild Soul's ability to do what he does best, and that's stay alive, life steal. It's going to be important that they utilize Sulfuras, get him farm early so that he can stand toe-to-toe with Zlapt and really put up a good fight. But other than that, both of the teams ended up drafting something fierce. The laning stages for Sync, I think they have the slight upper hand. It's just when I look at this team, it seems like they're going to be a little more passive when compared against the Legion side. I wouldn't want to be up against lanes like Pebbles Engineer or Luna Pebbles, just something with that double stun that you need to be worried about. Plus Power Throw puts out a lot of damage. It's one of those games where there's going to be heavy burst early on. Let me fix the overlay. Wow, this pause really saved me. I don't know how long it would have went before I noticed that overlay. But it's hard. There's a lot going on. But the pause is over now, and we're going to kind of go into it. This is another game where I think shrunken heads on a majority of the Hellborn team are going to be important. If not to just mitigate a little bit of damage and prevent Dr. Pulsar from jumping on you, or the just the immense magic damage just for mobility in the energy field. And this is Zibby on Engineer. This is not Serenia playing Engineer, and that's not a comment about skill. It's a comment about farm, and Zibby's going to find it. And we're going to see that portal key. It may not be at 10, 12 minutes because, I don't think they're going to put the focus on him, but he, maybe by 20 minutes, it's something that's definitely going to be a thing. And a well-placed Engineer ult can wreck you. And if you have a shrunken head, no problem. You don't care. Cool guys don't look at explosions. So we're already going to see Zlapt using Boo Boo to scout here. And Warbeast, he's got his Hellhounds out on patrol too. He managed to get this one past the tower. He probably spotted out the Pebbles and the Engineer, so that's all the information that you needed. And now he's going to get a second set up here and try to scout out what he can in the middle here. Wild Soul's looking to see if he can't pick one of those off and get a head start on that 28,000 gold per minute or whatever you get for getting a pre-creep spawn kill. But yeah, the matchup's finally underway. It looks like we're going to see a Lodestone against a solo Dr. Repulsor. Not a problem. It might be a problem for a lot of Lodestones and melee heroes, but we know Zane can hold his own in an unfair matchup. In mid lane, we're looking at Puppet Master, Pyromancer. Unless Panny is going to be roaming a lot, this is going to be really hard for Wild Soul in the middle lane. And we're going to see a man-up aggressive tri-lane up at top here, and it's going to be Engineer, Aluna, Pebbles. And I can't say, I don't know if you guys saw this coming, but that definitely comes as a little bit of a surprise to me. So let's kind of see here. These creeps get pulled all the way back, and that's just going to be an entire wave of experience free for Lodestone. I think Zlapt did that. I'm not sure if that was the intention. We'll have to see. Wild Soul here, he's still going to be able to farm with Boo Boo, but I wouldn't be surprised if Panty just doesn't start putting auto attacks into the Boo Boo to kind of harass him down. And up here, the creep wave is just way far back here, and South Forest is kind of outnumbered here. It's a tri-lane. Oh, they're diving harder here, already at mid lane. Puppet Master putting one more auto attack. Zlap is gonna fall. We find the bloodlust kill, and you know, I missed the entry, but it's got to be obvious what happened. A puppet show locked Zlap down on a creep. They laid into him and then put down the Dragonfire stun to finish the job. And that can't be the way that you want to start out as a Wild Soul. But, you know, I'm pretty confident in Zlap's ability to recover. After all, he's in probably the most difficult lane here for his entire team. So they're banking on shutting down the South Forest, who's, you know, the one who would shut down the Wild Soul. So I guess Wild Soul can always recover. If they take it late, eventually he will find farm, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sync makes some kind of rotation here. I mean, South Force is going to be able to retreat to the jungle if he has to, and that's just 3 heroes up at top with no real goal. So yeah, we already see Zibby setting up a rotation, or at least he's going to camp out the top rune here. And at the same time, Warbeast now maybe making his way. He says, if Wild Soul's not going to utilize the jungle, maybe I will. That leaves this jungle for South Forest, and allows him to... Okay, here comes Panty coming in bot lane with its stun onto Dr. Repulsor. They stagger them perfectly. The Rocket Drill connects. Dr. Repulsor takes that head smash. One more Dragonfire, or the Phoenix Wave to finish the job. And 2-0 Panty again. Oh man, this hype is real. Evil Corporation with the rotations on point. But South Forest now, he is going to get spotted out. He does at least get the Wolf Commander, so at least if he falls, he got a little bit of farm for it. But here's what he's doing. He's just going to man up. He's afraid to run because I think he knows he's dead, or he's just buying time for Puppet Master to get here. Put that Puppeteer show onto Luna, put in the auto attacks, and that Q spell just keeping him alive with farm, with HP every time he puts in that auto attack. And South Forest, that is a massive man up there. You have to know your hero incredibly well. And your opponents to know that you're going to be able to withstand the nukes coming out from those two guys. I mean, that's just phenomenal from Tankafet, and good communication all around. The rotations right now for Evil Corporation are insane. So Penny rotates back on the bottom lane, and here comes Warbeast. Will he get some body blocks off? One of the wolves dies, but here comes the Rocket Drill. Warbeast popping off. He didn't use the Battle Cry yet, and that could be the deciding factor. There's just not enough damage. The Hellhounds aren't attacking! No! What a blunder! He wasn't ready. Alright, well, Dr. Pulsar's going to get assistance from Aluna now, and I really think this rotation is probably the best decision that Sync's made all game, because they're not really finding farm on anybody. The only one is Pebbles, and yeah, it looks like they're going to start to mix things up. They're not happy with the way things are going right now. But Pebbles, at least, he's going to get the focus and have that portal key. Here comes Luna with a stun on a War Beast, but Lodestone's here. Look at the head smash! Takes out 90% of her chunk of her health in just one shot. Now here comes the Rocket Drill onto Engineer. He's just going to get locked down by Pyromancer. War Beast putting in the auto attacks. Now he procs that Battle Cry. And that's 5 heroes auto attacking with plus 11 damage. That's a whole another hero in the mix, basically. You want to do the math on that one, Silent Bob? It's got to be like a 5-to-1 there. Sync is definitely feeling the effects of Evil Corporation. You know, just the energy is still flowing from last game. I can't express that enough. Alright, but they will find a temporary attack on Lord South Forest. I don't want to call it too early because look at this tanky guy. He's not going down. And Wild Soul, way out of position here. I guess he didn't assume that the team was still lingering. And wow, I'm not really sure. Sync is definitely not feeling in sync at this time. South Forest has got himself in a bit of a pickle here. We've seen him survive from some interesting situations. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of them. He's going to get the kill onto Pebbles with his aura in the trees. He trapped himself in the trees. I'm not sure how this happened. What is going on right now? This is insane. Serenia is going to come and take over mid lane solo for the time being. And do what he can, but look at the relentless rotations. Here comes the hold from Puppet Master. Panty's rotating onto Serenia, and they don't know what to do right now. Evil Corporation is all over the map, and they're even now, this transition that Warbeast made into the enemy jungle, it makes so much sense because, you know, Wild Soul's going to try to rotate here, but he's only level 4. He's going to need support. If Warbeast comes across him, it's going to be an unbalanced matchup. So, that being said, this is definitely a surprise for me. I mean, I know, okay, here comes the hasted Lodestone onto Dr. Repulsor. He gets the Rocket Drill off before Dr. Repulsor can ultimate. I mean, do I need to do a ping check? What is going on here? There's no reason Dr. Repulsor should have died there. But Lodestone, I mean, with the perfect timing, this is intense. It's 9-0 with a 5,000 gold lead, 6 minutes into the matchup, and you gotta say, here comes Pebbles trying to set something up on a Puppet Master, just save for his life. He is gonna survive the initial attack. The assault will stop, but Panty's hungry for more. But he eats his own Striders, and he will give up the first kill. But look at Warbeast popping that ultimate here, looking for Engineer. He's trying to juke through the trees, but Lodestone is ready here, drops the Rocket Drill. He didn't really want to take that kill from near, but I don't think he's gonna be too concerned about that. Lodestone, will you get the TP off? Here come the Magnetic Contraption. You got one chance. Mom spaghetti. Zane falls here, so alright, a little comeback for Sync, and I think I got a little bit ahead of myself there. I'm sorry. That was a crazy 6-minute matchup, but if there's any team that can regain their composure here, it's going to be Sync, and you can already tell that, you know, things are looking better for them right now. They've caught up quite a bit in just 2 minutes time. Let's see if ECX can keep the pressure up. They got everything going for them right now. I mean, let's take a look at the itemization. I know it's a little bit early, but they've got a fair bit of gold. Warbeast going to be building that Abyssal Skull. Zane could have had Striders by now, so that makes me think, you know, he's feeling good where he might just go for Steam Boots this game. And it wouldn't be a bad idea against the burst damage that's coming out from Legion's side. So, and investments, I imagine, soon as well. Now, South Forest is the only one on the team that's not doing, like, phenomenal, even though the gold charts, I mean, that says he's doing pretty good. Now that he's rotated into the jungle, this hero is going to start a snowball, and I expect, I'd like to see Panty start stacking up these Ancients, because he's got 3 points in more Certisma. He can easily take those Ancients now. But Zlapt is going to return to the jungle. They completely abandon bottom lane here. They're tag teaming this triple stack Ancients, or hard camp, I apologize. And they kind of get the tri-lane going back up here. So all in on this Pebbles. Oh, excuse me. Look at these Hellhounds just putting it in to Serenia, and doesn't really have a choice but to run. They can't stand and fight them. Warbeast popped his ultimate there. I'm not sure what for. Maybe to kind of just get across the map. But now it is going to be on cooldown. Lodestone, at the meantime, while they were away, he just started hitting into this bottom tower. He got it down almost under 40%. And that's just more gold going around. In the meantime, Dr. Repulsor's getting locked down by the Puppet Hold and the Puppeteer's Show. And with the follow-up from Pyromancer, that's going to take Haxorn out. And I got to say, it's unusual of Haxorn to be seeking kills. I know he wasn't feeling safe in the bottom lane, but now you have Zlap returning to the jungle, and this bottom lane's just completely underutilized. So, you know, intentionally going into a lane where it's 2 versus 1, it was not wise. Now here comes the portal key onto Pebbles. Still sitting on normal boots, but he has the chalice, so he does have enough for the combo. We'll have to see here. Here comes Pyromancer. Lodestone's channeling that ultimate. Here comes the rocket drill's going to connect onto Dr. Repulsor. He did not see it coming. Pebbles in the background trying to lock down Puppet Master, and Zlap's putting the auto attacks into Lodestone, but he's pretty tanky as it is. He's got a couple of points into those plates, and ultimately, though, 4 heroes will get the job done. Don't even need the keg stun. It would have connected. Warbeast is going to push out the bottom tower. Whew. Alright, Wild Soul, man. What you got in store for us? He's got Steam Boots on Wild Soul and regular boots on Boo Boo. But no like Abyssal Skull, you know, that really helps him snowball with that farm. He's going to have to work hard to get his farm back into the game. But a good, at least 1 counter kill coming out for Sync in that fiasco in mid. And, yeah, not much else to say about that. Warbeast getting those hounds to level 4 now, able to scout without being detected. And this could be the information that they need. Lodestone's getting closer to that portal key. And Steam Boots picked up on South Forest. So, you know, he can definitely start taking these triple stack Ancients. And look at them harassing. Look at them harassing Aluna with these Hellhounds. Not using the battle cry, but still putting out insane damage. They're going to finally drop the Word of Revelation here. And, yeah, it's about time you did that. The Ward Beast, the summons despawn. Here comes an initiation onto Engineer. Panty putting out huge damage, but he didn't have mana for the Blazing Strike, which would have likely been a sure kill onto Engineer. The pressure being put out by Evil Corporation right now is really a lot to deal with by Sync, and it seems like they're kind of flabbergasted. Wild Soul is finding room. He pushes out the bottom tower. If they decided to come on him, he had support ready. So at least putting a little bit of gold into his teammates' pockets, Legion getting the kill on that tower. And now we see Hellborn looking to take a tower of their own. The wave's being pulled by South Forest, so it's just going to take a lot of hits from here. And where's Warbeast? You know, he's always been pushing off the side lanes at the same time. So we got Lodestone pressuring up top here. And once again, this is what Evil Corporation did in the last game against BMG that gave them the victory. They stayed spread out all over the map, and they only came together at, you know, select times. They're really splitting up the farm good here. You can tell that they have a game plan, and it's pretty much perfection at this point. So, I mean, look at Legion team. This is a pub train, and this is not what we see Sync. Sync is usually these guys operating at like 100% capacity, but, you know, feeling a little bit overwhelmed. The portal key was just picked up on Lodestone now, and this could be bad for them. I mean, grouping up is smart because you're stronger as a whole unit, but now with the initiation from Lodestone bearing, here it goes. He's channeling that Shatterstorm. He's going to get a chance. It's going to connect onto Wild Soul only because of the back off by Pebbles, but they do eventually melt him. A huge ultimate coming out from Engineer. It's going to trap the entire Hellborn team. They can't do anything in that energy field, and they are completely getting genocided. The last man standing is Panty here, but he can't pick an auto attack target. Dr. Pulser's going to get away, and now he's going to bite the dust. He does a nice sidestep there. Can he? Oh, he doesn't have any way to deny the trees. No mana. He's going to get locked down. That's a genocide. This is why Sync is one of the top teams in the game. They never give up, and they keep trying, and what turned out to be could have been a very bad thing for them, they completely flip it around, and the momentum can shift just like that. Unbelievable Sync. So it looks like, once again, we have a game on our hands here. Now, Evil Corporation, that being said, they still have a lot of farm. That was just one, really botched initiation by Lodestone, and is by no means the deciding factor in this game. They're still doing really well, and they have a little bit of a gold lead. Partially due to the fact, well, there's only one tower. This tower is in eye range. Dr. Repulsor going to initiate here up on the Puppet Master. Puppet Master did not complete that Shroud yet. And they're going to get the kill off with the power throw to secure the kill after the fact. So now this is beginning to turn into it looks a little bit different. Hellborn teams still split up all over the map, but Legion teams got those core items to really set up the ganks, and Dr. Repulsor getting involved, which I think is it's a huge thing here. Dr. Repulsor they wouldn't be making this comeback if he was just AFK farming. So it's good to see Haxorin setting up ganks and making plays happen. They're gonna take this tower as their prize for picking off Puppet Master. Painted gets a very interesting aggressive ward over here. Maybe to just keep an eye on Wild Soul. But even still, not the hero that you want to target your ganks at. So yeah, that's that. We're going to take a look here, and these guys are just all buddied up. Serenia and Masera with his newfound portal key, making things happen. They're kind of just sticking together. This is the original tri-lane up at top. They have that team synergy going into this, and they're just going to kind of continue it while Wild Soul and Dr. Repulsor farm up. And now Evil Corporation can't get too complacent. It was working before when they weren't dying, but now that they've died a bit, this split up and farm method is risky because, you're going up against two pretty decent carries. Dr. Repulsor can, be really effective in mid to late game, and Wild Soul, well, we all know right now he's insane. So I'd like to see them continuing the pressure, at least trying to set up some type of initiations on the team, because after all, they did just get that portal key on Lodestone, and aside from that one setup in mid, we haven't seen anything really happen from it. And it's not to say that there haven't been opportunities. Once again, look how far up Wild Soul is pushing here. A quick rotation and initiation from Lodestone, Warbeast Ultimate, you can definitely close the gap on him. Now you're going to allow Serenia to get up here and place 2 wards in the bottom lane. So now it's going to be even more difficult to really set up a gank in that lane. So Zibby is right about to get his portal key. Maybe Zibbe about to get that portal key. And it goes to show he didn't even need it to get off that massive energy field, but we kind of talked about that earlier, that it was going to be a problem for Hellborn team until they got the Shrunken Heads. And Salforus is going for the Tablet of Command. So you might be able to help your teammate out of the energy field, but still not as good as just getting a Shrunken on a couple of these crucial heroes. Dr. Repulsor with the Veiled Rot's going to find Lodestone here. He's going to drop all the opposite charges in the magnetic contraption. Lodestone's taking a lot of damage. Pebbles with the follow-up. More Tisma in the background trying to turn the tides. But here we go. Lodestone's trying to find a little space. Can he get the ultimate to go off before he falls? Looks like he's going to, so Pebbles is going to take the brunt of the damage on there. But here comes Wild Soul putting out that Bear Stomp to kind of prevent them from chasing. Lodestone PKs in with another Rocket Drill connecting onto a Luna. Warbeast ultimate is going to be enough to close the gap, and while he can't really get a kill from it, he was there as moral support. And this looks like Hellborn's going to have an opportunity to pick off this tower. Did they get top, or was it denied? I'm not really sure. I think... I don't know. Either way, there's some more action here mid. Lodestone with a double damage rune, putting the auto attacks into Wild Soul. That's going to be enough. Pyromancer throwing in that blazing strike to finish the job. And now it's Engineer who's in a bit of trouble. Dr. Repulsor's going to try to save the day. He does get a couple of nice contraptions off. AoE damage all about. He gets 2, but trades his life for that. Holy smokes. That was some crazy fight right there. Ultimately, though, Evil Corporation comes out on top, extending their gold lead to about 5,000. And they're going to stack the Ancients here, continue to just farm. Warbeast with the Shrunken Head, that's going to be extremely important. And I really hope Tank of Fate is saving for one also. And Imba Boy, I guess he can hold off for a bit and avoid team fights, but I mean, he got the Shroud. And maybe he can go without one because of the way that he already built his hero. But at least 2 out of the 3 heroes need to pick that up so that if the Zibby PK ult is too much, they have some way of dealing with it. But yeah, I mean, the action is just not letting up here. Pebbles has grabbed a Veiled Rot. He's going to be looking to find a kill here. Maybe on a Pyromancer. He's closest to Lord South Forest, but not the ideal target. And Warbeast picking up those vestments on South Forest also. I like these pickups. It's at one of those times where, you know, you can't pass it up. You can't pass up the 500 gold value. Anybody miss those 400 gold days of Mystic Vestments? That was OP. But here we go. Puppet Master gets that Shroud, and he's just going to clean up the Ancients here. He finishes Whispering Helm. Hasn't dominated the creep just yet, but I mean, that's going to free up Panny to do some more roaming, and maybe they still get some stacks going on here. Alright. Sarnia's going to do a little bit of counter warding here. Doesn't find anything, but at least secures the rest of the duration of his ward's life. Just kind of playing it safe. Hellhound here is going to scout out Dr. Repulsor. So, because of the excellent scouting here by Nier, and that they're going to maybe get a pick off here on Dr. Repulsor. Dr. Repulsor having to zoom, and he throws on the dust. Oh, he walked by the Ward of Revelation. So, ultimately, it was a better decision. Now, Puppet Master, though, he's not going to have... Dr. Repulsor is fully out of mana. This is not good for him. He's going to get healed up just a little bit there, but he's going to get melted instantly. Who's got the Astrolabe? Okay, Luna with the Astrolabe, but it wasn't enough to save him there. Whew. That, man, that didn't pay off. Zibby with the low mana pool. This is going to open an opportunity for an early Kongor. This is exactly what we've seen against BMG. This draft is very similar. They're executing it flawlessly, and I think they were on par for like a 20-minute Kongor in that game too. So ultimately, they're gonna kind of pull on the reins here a bit. And are they committing? Boo Boo's over here. They're telling you that, you know, this is an act of desperation. We know you're doing it. Are you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to kill Kongor? They said, yeah, we're sure. They're going to put the token onto the Lord South Forest, who's building a sheep stick. So, ultimately, that's going to be another crucial item. If you sheep the Wild Soul before he gets his shrunken head off, not going to be able to get the lifesteal, as well as Dr. Repulsor. It's just a really useful item in this game because they... I mean, as if they don't have enough lockdown with Zane's incredible rocket drills and a double disable on Puppet Master. Now they're just going to add more into the mix. And let's take a look at the GPM. That's what I thought. 450 plus. They do find a kill onto Warbeast. Looks like he was not able to activate that shrunken head. Nevertheless, he picks up the Soul's Bulwark while he's dead. Maybe he bought it beforehand. No real way to know for sure. But either way, I mean, that's kind of all he needs. This Warbeast is set, at least here for the mid-game, and now he can start saving for that next item. South Forest scouting out a Haste Rune. I guess he's just going to grab it quick. Can't linger there too long. Not sure what kind of wards that Serenia has up in the area. But Zibby's going to do some teamwork here, get these actions stacked up for Slapped. And this is just game one, boys, of the series here, so... you know, what a way to start this. Now, Pebbles is Veiled Rotted up again. Macera's really been, you know, pressing the issue, trying to keep the aggression up. This has got to be the 4th or 5th Veiled Rot this game. And, I don't know that I've seen him catch anything. He did get Warbeast down here, and I don't know if he used the Veiled Rot, but, you know, it starts to add up where, unless you're getting... the right targets, those Veiled Rots are not always worth it. He's building around mobility, and I'm not sure what the tablet is really for. I mean, there's always an instant where a tablet can save your teammate, but I'm not certain that it was the right decision on Pebbles. So let's see, Hellborn team getting a little train going here. They got the Veiled Rot coming over on Pyromancer. And they're just gonna put the burst down on this tower, with that battle cry not being procced yet. What? Was there a hero here? Rip Aluna. You had a nice life, but Panty's Ward of Sights are too strong. And they're just going to continue here. Without Aluna down, I mean, that's an Astrolabe that she did buy items to contribute to the team fight. So, it looks like they will take the fight now. Pebbles initiation onto Salt Forest, toss him into the background. He didn't buy that Shrunken Head, so he's taken out, but he had the token. That energy field's going to disperse. Can they get the Rocket Drill initiation off? Lodestone's trying to get it off. South Forest gets Storm Spirit. He's going to stay alive. Warbeast's taking a lot of damage, not doing much with that Shrunken Head. South Forest is going to fall here, and this is a failed initiation. Here comes the late Shatter Storm. They will get the counter kill off on a Lodestone and Dr. Repulsor, so the most important heroes are dead here, but they take 3 heroes with them. They put a lot of damage into the tower. And now here comes the Engineer returning. He's got the Keg stun. He's got the turret. Hellborn team's still ready to fight. They go on to Pebbles here, put the head smash out. Pebbles going to throw that toss back to kind of keep him away, but the puppet hold. It's going on to damage on to Pebbles. One more auto attack. The Panty's power throw. Aluna's power throw going through. Not going to do much there because it missed the wrong target, but here's Lodestone in a bit of trouble as well. Can't get the Rocket Drill off, and Ember Boy has to fall back, but he has Dust. Zibby is always prepared. He's got a bottle, and he's got a portal key, so he might be able to close the gap on this Puppet Master. That's why power throw's coming out here. It looks like the Dust might have expired a little soon, and he wasted his turret now. Wasted his keg, but the turret's going to be enough. For some reason, even after getting Puppet showed, it kept attacking Ember Boy. Good job there escaping. A little bit of misplay by Zibby. Taking a gamble here. And, well, I guess that works out a little bit in favor of Sync. Now, they lost a lot of heroes, but they didn't use any buybacks. They saved their barracks, and they live another day. And every minute that this team delays the push and you know, is able to continue to farm on the map is another minute closer to them, you know, taking over this game. It's not going to be easy to push against a Dr. Repulsor. It never is. Here comes Dr. Repulsor in the meantime. Speaking of putting the damage into Warbeast with the double damage rune and the Hellflower, that is insane damage coming out. And that's going to be a kill onto Warbeast. This is twice Nears got caught out down here in the bottom lane by himself with his Shrunken and his ultimate off a cooldown. I guess he felt like he didn't want to blow those cooldowns, but at the same time, that's 2 deaths now. Your Shrunken Head's still going to be at 8 if you use it. I must say that, you know, he probably could have survived, at least from what it looked like right there. Dr. Repulsor pretty low on mana, can't dwell on that too long. Now 2 heroes on the Legion side are Veil rotted up, and Sync's looking to keep this momentum going. They're still falling behind a little bit in gold, but you wouldn't know it based on the aggressive nature that they're showing here. And they're going to get right back working on this tier tower. They started it about 10 minutes ago. Much stronger than they were before. Serenia's going to get this ward out, trying to give them a little vision for any kind of counter initiation, but another ward here. So I'm not sure I agree with this ward placement because, I mean, the next target is top. And it doesn't give them too much information about rotations in their area, but there goes Panty kind of camping out here at the observatory. Not sure if he's waiting for a ward to spawn or what, but if he gets... Yeah, he's going to see this Aluna. Will he go for it? Aluna's got 1100 HP. He is going to go for it. He's thinking about it. She just didn't walk. Okay, now he's waiting for Lodestone. Alright. Serenia, I'm not sure what you can do in this situation, because it looks like you are in a bad way. Deep water. I mean, other than that, I guess we got a moment here. It's been a while since we took a look at the items here. I kind of discussed the Hellborn team, but let's see what Legion team's working on. The Frostbrand go down to Wild Soul, just trying to be that, you know, I think the idea is with Wild Soul, you want to get to a point where you're so tanky that they just decide to not focus you at all. You don't have to go full tank, but, you know, at this point, if he builds a Frostwolf skull, eventually, I mean, you kind of ignore him, I think, until later, and you focus on the other heroes, so that's probably this idea. Engineer's working on building a tablet of his own. A Shrunken Head could be in the works for Pebbles. Dare I say, we'll never see it. Staff of the Master, that's got to be one of the most fun effects in the game, but yeah, probably not going to see that. Steam Boots in the works for Aluna, And Dr. Repulsor pulling up some gold here. No purchases in a while. He does have the Hellflower, so it's worked for him so far in terms of locking on the Puppet Master, but also on the War Beast, but it will also be effective on the Puppet Master as well. Talking about the Puppet Master, he's picked up the Shrunken Head, and against this team, that's crucial. If he had that in the last fight, he wouldn't have got caught up in that Engineer ultimate, and would have been able to kind of do a lot more work that we've seen it time and time again. Zibby's he's going to land the ultimate in the right positioning, and if you don't have a Shrunken Head, you really don't have much to do. You can wait it out, you can try to run away, you can stand and attack, but you're going to take a lot of damage in the process here. So, I mean, other than that, Sheepstick's finished on Tankafet, and also he's working on his Shrunken Head. That's it. I mean, once they get those, they're not going to be fearful of any team fights. Kongor's probably spawning in about 3 to 4 minutes, and now back to the action here. Serenia is going to take the Rocket Drill right to the face, and the follow-up stun by Pyromancer. Pandy doing his best attempt to steal that kill, but Zane not having it. Tag teaming the Ancients here, South Forest and Warbeast. Plenty of farm to go around here, so more so just kind of making quick work of it while it's safe. And they might be here coming to push off into the middle lane. Pebbles pushed up pretty far here, and yeah, they force out a rotation from the Puppet Master. He wants to go in here, but there is 3 illusions and 1 Pebbles. See what I did there? Yeah, 2 heroes in the area. Probably not a good idea. And Hellborn team now with a Bound Eye, and I really like this. He's not going to find any wards here, but Sync's been having pretty much... They've been aware of any rotations that Hellborn's tried to make over the past 10 minutes here. And in doing some counter warding, it's going to make their life a little bit easier. Plus, they're scouting out with the Hellhounds here. We'll see Dr. Repulsor. If South Forest can get in position here with the Sheepstick... Okay, there's... That contraption might have spotted them out there. Unfortunately, the PK hero up top... well, no. They're down here. They're close enough. But looking like they don't want to overcommit here. So we're going to keep going around. Hey. X Tinker. Thanks for the subscribe, man. Got to keep Honcast alive. It's the best game on the internet. Don't know what I'd do without it. Yeah, even Pandy's working his way into the jungle here. He might get a portal key of his own here, and I think they could definitely benefit from it. They have lockdown, but an extra portal key would just make it easier to make the jump on those heroes. You know, if you have 2 PK stuns, that buys enough time for the slow ass Lord South Forest to get in there with a Sheepstick and finish the job. So hitting a bit of a stalemate here. I imagine Kongor is going to spawn any second now. And we'll see if any team looks to capitalize on that. And because I think it's gonna be a point of contention here. I don't think either team wants to give up a free Kongor. Look at these Hellhounds scouting out again, and Puppet Master getting in range. If he can get it off, and once again, the game sense here by Macera is pretty Spidey sense almost, able to get out of there and avoid what would have been certain death and a push. Still no Kongor. I mean, they're just splitting up and farming here. Warbeast almost has enough to purchase this next item, whether he decides to go for a demonic, because there is a lot of physical damage coming out on this team. I can see that being useful. I'm not sure if South Forest is any closer. Okay, Puppet Master, will he find the Wild Soul? He had about a split second. Too bad it's not going to connect. So really, really slippery. The Sync team's been about 2 or 3 chances they've given up here to let people fall off. But getting away with their lives and coming back. You can see the gold lead was probably about 7,000 not too long ago, and Sync's comfortable playing it safe, playing it slow here, and trying to make a recovery. Now, Dr. Repulsor has his Shrunken Head, Wild Soul, and Pebbles. So that's going to be it's going to allow them to stay in the fight and not get locked down as much by this Puppet Master, who's been pretty ridiculous with it. Kongor is spawning now as you see these teams start to gather around and get ready to have a team fight, I suppose. So Veiled Rod on Pebbles. Wild Soul's going to keep farming. See which team decides to make the first move here. Hellhound's out and about, but Serenity. Here comes the Pebbles initiation. I love Stovos, but he timed the Shrunken Head perfect. And what is this pause? What? I don't think we've ever got to hear this entire, so I'm going to shut up. Let's just bask in this moment. Yeah. So, what do you think is going to happen here, guys? Put it in your votes. Let's kind of analyze this. This would be actually cool. I don't know why I didn't think about it. So, Engineer will be ready to follow up with his Blink ultimate, but being that Lord South Forest already popped his Shrunken, that's not going to be a thing. So Zippy's going to have to make a judgment call and pick off where the heroes as they don't have any vision. We're about to see everything unfold here in just a moment here. Pebbles already threw out a stun combo. Let's see. Puppet Master activating that Shrunken Head immediately, focusing onto Pebbles. They're going to take him out, and the Legion team making the right decision here and kind of just abandoning ship. This could be the conceit of Kongor. You know, that they decided that they're not going to do it here. So that was very interesting timing there with the pause. And Elwarn's going to pick up the easy Kongor kill here. And let's see what they can do with it. That token is going to go on to Puppet Master. They did burn all of their Shrunkens, anticipating maybe some type of follow-up from Sync. So I'm not sure that they're going to be able to push mid here. Alright, they're going to be pushing the lane here. Shout out to Croismint for being a big tool bag. Let's go ahead and see. It's kind of another stalemate here. Like I said, they burn their Shrunken cooldowns. They don't want to overcommit. But they have the items they need to take a team fight. I think if that boiled down to a full-on team fight, they had the upper hand. There's just not a ton of damage coming out from Legion side yet. And if there is, it's all kind of single target. They're going to have to focus down one hero. And if they make that hero either Puppet Master or War Beast or South Forest, you still have the other heroes to worry about. So it's kind of tricky. This Legion side, it's going to be hard for them to win a team fight, I think. And it's not skill or anything. It's just the composition and the build that Hellborn has. Their team is hard to kill. And now with a PK Shrunken Head on South Forest, there's no way to stop a perfect initiation. I'm going to learn something here if Sync shows me how to win this team fight. But I feel like if I look at these teams side by side, that I gotta give my vote to Evil Corporation right now with this team fight coming up. So Zane popping out a ward site here. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure if he stepped in here if Serenia would have spotted that. But there we go. The Frostwolf Skull completed onto Wild Soul there. And yeah, don't know really much to talk about here. Just kind of waiting for the action to hear. Dr. Repulsor, though, is trying to set something up. I'm going to have to see something amazing on Dr. Repulsor that gives him more damage, and Wild Soul, too. He's going to have to get some big items on himself or the bear, so that maybe they can only focus on single targets at a time. But if they burst them down quick enough, and then just they really align their targets together, then they have a chance at taking out this team. But I feel like it's a lot simpler for Hellborn. Take out the Dr. Repulsor, and then then just pick off these squishies one at a time. Their game plan is pretty straightforward. And they've taken away all the vision here on the map for the Legion side. The only tower left here is this bottom one, so this would make sense for the next objective. Oh, they're going to spot Welzel here. Will we see portal key initiations? They don't have too much... Okay. Yeah, they don't have too much information about where the rest of the players are. These ones aren't showing on the map. But that was an opening there if they decided to take it. Now they know Luna's over here. And there's going to be free tower. Here comes the initiation. Sal4 is going to pop onto a Luna with the sheep stick. He used his ultimate already, so he's really committing to this. And now Engineer's going to get the energy field off, but the Storm Spirit's going to buy time for him to get that shrunken head activated. No, he's going to get Hellflowered. He can't get it off. This is the opening that Sync wanted. Now, Hellborn team's on the run. They're diving past the tier 2, so they have to fall back here. And now with their shrunken heads on cooldown, a lot of the other spells not used and the token still available. That was a early jump by Tankafet, and if he had follow-up, that would have worked perfectly. And in the sense that it would have been a dead Luna, I don't know how much of a difference it would have made, but they end up just losing South Forest. Things could have definitely been worse. With 40 seconds on the token, they're just going to kind of fall back, reset, and finish off their items here. It looks like there's a Hellflower in the works for Puppet Master just for that additional lockdown onto Dr. Repulsor if they need it. Here comes Dr. Repulsor flying into War Beast. This is going to be the third time he attempts to get a pick off here. War Beast activating that ultimate, and they can't get the lockdown. Up top lane, though, Zlap pushing too far. And the three-man gank here, gank squad, does the trick. So, the Lodestone has effectively eradicated Sync's vision on the map, and that's got to play a part into the mind of Sync, where they don't feel comfortable pushing out of their base, and if they do, they have to be prepared for a fight at any given time. So that really limits the capabilities of farming here. I don't know why I always thought that Wild Hunters were immune to magic, but I could have sworn that he just used a magnetic contraption. Is it just Stealth Hunters aren't immune anymore? I don't know. Go ahead and post that in chat with an @mathematical so you can educate me. Let's see here. I mean, Hellborn team's gearing up. What more can we see here from them? The Demonic is complete. The Lodestone has a Storm Spirit. It's going to be another 7 minutes before the third Kongor spawns with his banana surprise that I know you all love. And yeah, Pyromancer's got his PK. This Hellborn team, I know they're a little scared because that initiation was botched, but it was just because it was an uncoordinated attack. I don't think it was any type of thing that they need to be worried about. And the fact that Salforce got locked down so quick that he didn't get a shrunken off. Otherwise, he would have completely survived here. So I'd like to see them try it again. Before this ward gets countered, you have a pretty good window here. Unless Puppet Master's trying something here. He's been sitting up here for a good minute or two. I mean, it's pretty neat that you can just hang out in the corner and look at trees. I think that's an aspen there. You can tell that it's an aspen because of the way that it is. Dr. Pulse are going to work on the farm over here. And, yeah, they're just going to split farm. And Evil Corporation, I'm not sure. I feel like the longer the wait, the harder it's going to be. They're kind of just giving time for more items to be farmed. A lot of these heroes just have their core items. There's not really any luxury items. There's no tablet on the Aluna. There's no whatever Pebbles buys next. I don't know, a breastplate if he wants to support his team. But they definitely will buy those items if given enough time. I understand they're kind of being choked a little bit, so they're not getting a ton of farm. And the Evil Corporation just extending their gold lead. But yeah, it's definitely playing it safe here, and you got to give respect to Sync, and that's exactly what Evil Corporation is doing here. They're being respectful, and they don't want to make too many mistakes. But sometimes not committing to any sort of action is a mistake in itself. But let's go ahead and see what happens. They're gonna find another ward to de-ward here. That's pretty unfortunate. The ward will actually live to see another day. So, oh snap, elite viewers. That's pretty awesome. 1337. Only OG 90s kids will know what that means, though. All right, so Wild Soul's gonna be pushing up top here. I'm not sure if he's going to replace his vestment with another item or start gearing out Boo Boo. Like I said, never was a big Wild Soul player, and since the changes to him, it's kind of hard for me to speculate. I try to only give insight on what I actually know is true, but maybe that bear does have 6 slots, so at least better boots on the bear, on Boo Boo. Maybe some Ghost Marchers could be useful. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Pebble's gold hasn't gone up in about 20 minutes. There's just no gold for him. And that ward is placed perfectly at the right time. They're going to spot out Salt Forest and War Beast here. Here comes the initiation onto Dr. Repulsor. This is what they were looking for. They don't get the sheep stick off onto him after the duration, but they activate the Shrunken Head, so they're not going to get locked down in the energy field. Pebbles is melting, but so is War Beast. And Wild Soul is putting out a lot of damage. In the background here, Dr. Repulsor's doing the dance of death around Pyromancer. Painty can't hold it. Here comes War Beast, though. They put in the damage, and those crits coming out from Puppet Master, the whiplash damage, is just too much to withstand. The last man standing is Wild Soul. You build to be that tank, and you are always going to be the cheese that stands alone. And unfortunately, he won't be able to defend this base on his own. The only other player with a buyback is Haxorin. Puppet Master, not the hero that you want to buy back into without a Shrunken Head. So he's going to have a hard time here. It's probably not even worth it to buy back. That's why he's not doing it, but if he does nothing, they're going to lose 2 sets of racks here. This could be the game. And, it was kind of a long time coming. Evil Corporation just had to... Oh, look at that. They're going to find a stack of Spider Mines there. Which kind of probably would have hurt Puppet Master if he were the one to step on him. You could see what one mine did there. But, ultimately, Evil Corporation, they were just that one team fight away from sealing this deal for a long time now. They finally were able to execute, and Tankafet... Ooh, Dr. Repulsor's flying in here. He's going to get the dust off. Oh, and they Health Flowers Lodestone. They're going to lock him down. Lodestone's pretty tanky, though, and he has a Storm Spirit. He's going to get that Rocket Drill off, and that's going to buy a little bit of space here. I'm not surprised he didn't Storm Spirit himself to get the Portal Key proc. I guess he felt that they would have just collapsed on him, which is probably true. So they end up losing one here in the process, but look at the damage that cannot be undone. 4 sets of racks down here for Sync. 20,000 and 15,000 disparity in the Golden Experience department. And you just see like these full inventory heroes now. The Brutalizer, the icing on the cake for War Beast, the 2,000 buyback gold on Tankafet, who has had phenomenal initiations this game, that really set up his team for victory. I have to applaud that. Even Panty's joining the mix. Aluna now getting caught out again. It's going to lose that Bound Eye. Least of their worries, though, as this fight is unfolding. Engineer's taking a huge amount of damage from Lord Salt Forest. Prematurely pops that Shrunken Head. The energy field of desperation is not going to be enough to help them out here. Dr. Pulsar doing his best to tell him on a Tankafet. Panty gets tossed into the energy field, but Lodestone gets the Shatter Storm off onto 3 heroes. Dr. Repulsor falls in the background. Not a single hero has fallen for the Hellborn team just yet. Pebbles is the last man standing for real this time. Can't do any damage. Lord Salt Forest falls down, but the GG well played being called out. That was definitely a good game here, and I have to applaud both teams for the effort that they put into the matchup here. That was phenomenal. I don't know what to say. Well played by Evil Corporation, keeping the momentum coming from the Bad Monkey Gaming match into the Sync Esports. They're now 2 games in a row coming into their 3rd matchup here, doing what they can to get that high seed in the tournament. So nothing but round of applause for both these teams. Game 2's coming up here in just a short minute or so, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Let's get back to this epic jam.
Walk in my room, The latest patch on my CPU, matchmake this place is gonna lose, cause that's the thing I make noobs do.